Have you ever wondered how a seemingly small error could spiral into a big problem? Attention to detail can be a game changer, separating high performers from the rest of the crowd. So whether it's catching a crucial typo error in the proposal or interpreting clients' subtle cues for a closure, attention to detail is an essential skill which comes handy at your workplace. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sonia, your host and companion on Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. And today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks to enhance this skill of attention to detail, catching details that others often miss out, and ultimately producing work that you can be truly proud of. So let's get started. But before that, hit the subscribe button if you've still not subscribed to my channel, as every Thursday I bring meaningful episodes for you which help you in your work life, in your career, in your professional life. So grab your cups of coffee and let's start with the episode. Attention to detail is very important irrespective of which department you're working in. What is your role? What are your responsibilities? Which industry you're working from? Right? If you're working as a trainee, as an executive, to a senior manager, to a vice president, to even the chairman of any organization, this attention to detail skill comes very handy if you want to maintain high standards at your workplace, and you want to prevent some costly mistakes to happen, and you want to build reputation of being a reliable resource at work while making sure that you're very accurate in your work. First, let's look at what are the red flags. How do you come to know that you don't have the skill of attention to detail? When you start making frequent mistakes in your written communication. Now, this is very important because when you're working, you're sending some kind of written communication to your customers, to your internal colleagues. So when you're sending any form of written communication, always look at, are there any typo errors, any grammatical errors, any formatting issues? When you're sending any emails or you're making any PowerPoint presentations, you're sending any proposal document to any customer, any reports that you're making. And if these documents or if this kind of communication has any kind of typo errors or any grammatical mistake or any formatting issues, then it undermines your credibility and makes you look like that you're very careless at your work. The next red flag is when you're very inconsistent at your work. On some good fine days when you're feeling very chirpy, you're feeling very positive, you have everything under control, there are no errors, you're not missing any deadlines, there's absolutely no problem with your work. But on some days, you're very sloppy, there are mistakes happening, people are pointing out, you've not done this is pending for you, this document has so many mistakes, you've overlooked the accuracy of the data. So, you're not very consistent. On some days, you're perfect. On other days, you're very, very sloppy. And this shows lack of a process to ensure accuracy each time. Next is overlooking some important instructions. Any missed observations. So if there is an unhappy client, maybe the client requested for something, you forgot to make notes, or you remembered few things, but you forgot few things. So basically, you overlooked on few of the things which were very, very important, which were crucial for you to do any kind of communication or to complete a particular task. Next is when you fail to recheck, when you fail to double check. See, whenever we are sending out any email, we need to make sure that we double check things. Is the attachment correct? Whatever information that the client wanted, have I included it in my email? The presentation, if you're making, make sure that, the data that you're presenting, is it correct or not? Sometimes we are in a hurry and we don't have time. Maybe we've not planned things properly. And so, we send the mail and okay, fine, our job is done. Many times I've seen people sending the right mail to a wrong recipient. Because, you type the first few letters, alphabets, and the name pops up without checking whether the name is correct or not. You just send the mail. Has it happened to you? And this happens because we are not double checking our work. We are often missing out on our deadlines, which shows that we are very poor in our planning. We need constant supervision of our seniors or our colleagues. We want them to keep reminding, okay, this job is pending, the deadline is approaching. Have you finished that email? Have you finished that presentation? Is your draft ready? So we need constant supervision. And if you're kind of that person, then which means you need to focus on your attention to detail skill. Also, I see that people, when they read other people's documents, they somehow can't point out the errors in that document. So if somebody else is submitting a very flawed job and they've not taken care of some errors, so when you read through the document, you find it fine and you forward it to your senior, that shows that even you don't have attention to detail. Your other person missed out on few details and even you missed out. So you're not able to point out the errors in other people's work as well. And one thing more, repeated miscommunication. You keep requesting that you need clarity. Can you repeat yourself? I didn't understand this. So you need others to keep repeating what they've just said, or you have clarifications, you have doubts because you did not listen carefully to what the other person was saying, or you did not make notes at that point when the meeting was happening. And so you forgot few points and then you go back to seek for clarity, or you want them to repeat things for you. That shows that you do not have attention to detail. So now that we are aware of some of the most common red flags which actually lead to say that, you do not have the skill, now how do you improve on this? The first and foremost thing, you need to get organized at your workplace. By getting organized at your workplace, I mean remove the clutter from your workstation. All the files and folders, stack them properly. File your documents properly. Use a calendar. Put it on your whichever wall that you have, or your workstation must be having some kind of space where you can pin your document. So pin a calendar and make sure that you put yellow stickies for any important meetings or anything in your calendar that you want to highlight that, okay, fine, this thing is approaching, I need to take care of it. Any important dates and deadlines, you're marking it in the calendar. And then you are reviewing that calendar on a daily or a weekly basis to make sure that you do not miss out on those important dates or deadlines that are approaching. Next is use a checklist. Have your to-do list for small and your bigger tasks. Have at least 3 to 5 tasks on a daily basis that you focus on and ensure that you finish those tasks. When I say that even for a small task, you should have a checklist. So if you are somebody who makes a lot of mistakes on sending out emails to other people, so for this task also have a checklist. Like for example, what is the content that you have to send in the email? If there are any documents that you need to attach, any data that you are including in your email, have you double checked that data? And to whom are you sending the mail? So if you feel that your email is a very weaker, small task that you're doing, so make sure that you have a checklist for that. Have you checked the content? Have you double checked whom are you sending the mail to? What is the attachment? Is it the final draft of that document, or there was a working version of that document and by mistake you're sending a wrong attachment to the other person? So have a checklist ready, because this checklist will come handy in making you more organized and paying attention to few things that you often miss out. Create a routine for yourself. When you start creating a routine for yourself, you don't then need to make an effort of checking things, because it automatically becomes a habit for you and the chances of making errors reduces. Managing your time properly, because most of the errors happen because you're in a hurry, you're in a rush to finish things, and hence, errors will happen. So if you start managing your time properly, you will not face this issue only. So either you can follow a Pomodoro technique whereby, you are doing the things which require your maximum focus, do it for 25 minutes, get up from your chair, take a 5-minute break, come back. That will give you the focus back. You will not feel stressed out and burn out by sitting on that chair for hours and hours, and hence the chances of making a mistake will not be there. So follow this Pomodoro technique of working for 25 minutes, taking a 5-minute break, do this for 2 hours, and after that take a little longer break of say 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and that will enhance your productivity and that will reduce the chances of you making a mistake. And also, to manage your time in a better manner, you can even follow the Eisenhower matrix. I often speak about it, where you divide your work into 4 quadrants. Basis, the urgency and the importance quadrants. Name all these 4 quadrants as A, B, C, D. So A quadrant is things that are very urgent and they are very important. And those tasks, you're supposed to do it first and finish them off. Now the B quadrant is tasks which are not very urgent but are very important. So you can decide about it. Do you want to do it right now? Or, there's still time. You can do it maybe tomorrow, or you can do it in the second half of the day. Now the third quadrant, which is the C quadrant, which is tasks which are urgent but not very important. And these are the tasks you can actually delegate it to other people that, okay, fine, this is an urgent thing, but it's not very important. So it doesn't require my personal intervention. So you can ask somebody else to do it within your team. If you don't have a team, then maybe you can do it later. The fourth quadrant, which is the D quadrant, which is the tasks which are neither urgent nor very important, delete them from your to-do list for now, because they are neither urgent nor very important. So why should you focus your energies into doing those tasks? So if you start actually categorizing your to-dos or the tasks that you have to do, and you say, okay, fine, which is very urgent and very important, which is urgent but not very important, which is not urgent but very important, or which is neither of the two. So accordingly, it will help you to prioritize your time, and then you will not be, running helter-skelter in terms of managing your time throughout the day. Next, if you want to improve your attention to detail, then you need to reduce distractions from your life, especially when you're at work. Because these distractions, they waste a lot of your time. If you're working on any particular email, very important email, or a presentation or any proposal that you're drafting, then make sure that your phone is on silent, your notifications are turned off, there is nothing on your table that is distracting you. And if you want, you can take these small little 5-minute breaks to make sure that you're focused and you're able to finish your task properly. Don't attend to unwanted calls at that time. Don't entertain your colleagues who've just come to gossip with you. So just tell them that you're working on something very important. You'll come back to them later. Do not do multitasking. I know multitasking is good because you're able to complete a lot of things together, but the chances of you making mistakes is also very high. So don't do multitasking. If you have a very important assignment to finish, then only focus on that. When you're doing that particular thing, in between, don't start checking your email, replying to particular WhatsApp message, checking your social media accounts, and then working on that proposal also. So don't do multitasking, especially when you are doing some very crucial assignment. Always make notes. So I have this habit that if I'm attending any meeting, be it a telephonic meeting or a face-to-face meeting with clients, and even an internal meeting within the organization, I always carry a notepad and a pen with me, apart from my laptop, of course. And I have this habit of making notes during the meeting. What was discussed in the meeting? What were the key decisions taken during the meeting? What are the action points? Who is supposed to do what? You need to make sure those notes, you have understood it properly. Don't use any short forms, because if you just write follow up with the marketing team as something that you've just written, whereas in crux of the matter, if you write clearly what you want to convey, instead of writing follow up with the marketing team, you write email to the marketing team by Friday on the new campaign strategy. Now, when you're writing, send an email by Friday on the new campaign strategy, things will remain fresh in your mind that, okay, fine, this is what I have to write. If you just write, send an email to the marketing team, now there are so many things that will get discussed and you'll forget about what I'm supposed to send an email about. So when you're making notes, be very particular of capturing the right information the way it is in your notes as well. And lastly, have a habit of questioning your own assumptions. When any data is given to us by our seniors or our colleagues, we do not question the accuracy of that data. From where have you got that data? Is it validated or not? Is it accurate or not? Have you verified the source or not? So next time, if anyone is giving you any kind of information, instead of assuming that the person has already done their job, I don't need to do that, start questioning, why am I going with this data? Am I sure that this data was given to me properly, or, it's lacking few points, or it's lacking some information? So start questioning your own assumptions, because that will help you to catch some errors which have been missed out by others. Here, let me give you some rules or some tricks that you can use. Very easy ones that you can follow, which will help you follow a 3-check rule. So, which means you review your own work 3 times. First, you read through the whole content to check whether the content is in order. The second time when you review the details of that proposal or that content or any presentation that you're making, whether it's in order or not. And the third time when you're reviewing overall if there are any errors, grammatical errors, formatting is fine, the flow is fine of that document or not. So always follow this 3-check rule. The chances of you making an error drastically reduces. Next is use a fresh eye technique. What does a fresh eyes technique mean? That after you've completed a particular task that you were doing, maybe a project report you were making, any proposal you were making, any agreement, legal document that you were making. So once you've completed, doing that particular document, step away. Just go have some fresh air, have a cup of coffee, take a very short break, just close your eyes, maybe wash your face and come back with fresh eyes and then go through the document. So before you start reviewing your own document that you've just prepared, give a gap in between. After completion of that document and when you start reviewing, give a gap, step out from your chair, take a little break, wash your face, come back. And when you start reviewing that document, after a little gap, chances of you making an error also reduces. This is something that I've followed and it has really, really helped me. So it's not something that I'm telling you just for the heck of it. These are the rules that I personally follow in my own life also. And lastly, this always works. Ask why 5 times minimum. That's a 5 why technique, which is to say, why did you encounter that particular issue? So if, for example, you've missed out on a deadline, you should ask yourself, why did I miss that deadline? And the answer would be that I was not able to give enough time for research. So then ask yourself, why was I not able to give time for research? Again, you'll get an answer. Again, question why this happened. Again, you'll get an answer. Again, ask why this happened. And when finally, you would have asked 5 whys, the chances are that in those 5 whys, you'll find the insights of the root cause of that problem. And that will help you to plan things better in future. Attention to detail requires practice, persistence, and a lot of patience. Do some exercises, meditate, play some games which actually help you improve your focus. Observe your own red flags at work and also seek for feedback from other people. As if you do not take care of your attention to detail skill, this will actually impact your reputation and productivity. So on that note, we come to the end of our episode. I really hope that you found value in this episode. And if there's anything else that you would like to share with me, please do leave a comment, as I love to read your comments. Before you go, please hit the subscribe button if you've still not subscribed to my channel. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.